When people don't have access to public transportation and they can't drive, they really are so limited and oftentimes end up isolated, especially for people who use wheelchairs, who need specialized transportation. That problem just compounds itself and becomes an even bigger problem.
A lot of employers are looking for employees right now in the state of Indiana, and individuals with disabilities are a ready and willing workforce. We have to get accessible, reliable transportation to those businesses.
Our transit system is growing and it's working to get there, but it's not where it should be. Access to mass transit, especially in rural areas, is incredibly important.
Once you get out into the rural areas, in some counties there's no public transportation at all except for medical appointments. Traveling to an adjacent county for employment or recreational activities is just not an option for people with disabilities.
The transportation situation has been so bad for people with disabilities for so long, they've almost come to accept it. At what point do you just kind of give up?
There aren't a lot of sidewalks and there are not a lot of crosswalks, which make it very, very difficult for someone who is blind, someone who is in a wheelchair.
Our daughter, Tiki, uses open-door transportation. We do try and get to know the drivers, but the drivers do not seem to be on a consistent route.
In an ideal situation, riders would have the same driver on a daily basis.
We know of circumstances that a person has listened to the driver and said, "This is where you're supposed to go," even though it was not their home.
For those that are relying on the door-to-door transportation, delays in pickup and drop-off just are pretty much a daily occurrence.
It's hard to know how long you're going to have to wait. Oh, your estimated pickup time is 4:45, and then the next thing you know, it's jumped all the way to 5:15.
It's very frustrating to our individuals. They want to get to work, they want to get to their appointments. They have that integrity and work ethic to be there, and then the bus is the one who makes them late.
They may some days end up there at 7:15, and the next day they may end up there at 8:15.
This creates a strain on the employer and the employee. When that's a daily occurrence, that is a daily stressor. And how well can you perform at your job when you're dealing with that stress day in and day out?
You don't really know a person until you walk around in their shoes. Get a feel for someone who is blind, what they have to go through every day, especially with transit and paratransit.
We want them to do anything that they want to do because in most situations they can if they have the right supports.
If we want to remove the challenge of transportation as a whole, whether that's through ride sharing, accessible bus stops, accessible buses, we all have to work together to make that happen.
New software, new technology, whatever they need to make things change and make it better. Let's have some action and let's be a part of it. Let's be a part of the solution.
It's going to take a lot of thinking, a lot of funds, a lot of effort to solve, but we've got to keep it on the table.
1 in 4 people are going to deal with some kind of disability in their life. This is about building a world where we're all able to get to where we need to go and we all lift each other up and we do better.